Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. I have a bit of a treat for you guys. I have crystal skulls that I'm going to kind of show you guys my collection. So many of you know I love crystal skulls, especially if you guys follow me on Instagram. You will see that I have quite a bit of a collection that has been growing slowly but surely. And I'm always posting pictures of the crystal skulls in various client readings. So if you guys have ever purchased a reading from me, I took my glasses off because of the glare, but I'm going to put them back on because I can't see. Okay. So if those of you guys who purchased a reading from me, you've probably seen some of my beautiful crystal skulls popping up in the photos with your cards. That is because I love crystal skull energy. I love having them in my photos. I love skulls. I love anything Halloween-y and whatnot. So I just thought, you know, I've never done a video introducing you guys to my crystal skull collection, and I thought that this might be a really cool video to make. So, and don't mind me, I cut my hair today. So I have like super short hair now, and I'm just trying to get used to it. It feels really light, but it looks really good. Like, I'm really happy. Anyways, okay, so let's start with, I'm not even going to go into actually any particular order. I do remember my very first crystal skull, though, that I purchased, so I'll show you that one. So the first one is, this is my black obsidian crystal skull. And I remember I was looking through Tumblr and I saw him in a post, and I was like, oh my god, I should buy him. I need him. And of course, once you really resonate with a specific crystal or a type of crystal, like for me, I have a very fond connection with the smoky quartz. Anytime I see smoky quartz, and if it's within reason for me to, you know, it's affordable for me, I will buy it. So the same thing happened with a crystal skull. Once I had my first one, I had to have more. So he is black obsidian, and I really love the detail to him. I'm hoping the camera will be nice and focus. There you go. The detail to his teeth. He is just a radiant looking skull. So that is him. He was my first one, and after I had him, I had to have more. Those of you guys who are wondering, this is typically a 2-inch. No, I think he's actually more of a 1.5-inch skull. I prefer 2-inch size skulls, and I'll show you a 2-inch skull right now afterwards, because they're a little bit larger, and I like my crystals big. But he's about a 1 to 1.5 inch, and he's, you know, he's still a decent size. So, but if you guys were wondering how big he is, he's about a 1.5 inch. My 2-inch skull is the cherry quartz. Cherry quartz is actually a dyed quartz, so you imagine a clear quartz crystal, but you just dye it with red. So my cherry quartz, she is 2 inches. And I remember when I purchased a 2-inch skull, I was like, oh, I wonder how big she's going to be compared to my 1-inch. And she is rather large compared to him. So you can see the difference. And every crystal skull is different. Some of them, like with my black obsidian, the details of his face are very prominent. They are very very close to the typical crystal skull, or not the typical crystal, but the typical shape of a human skull. My cherry quartz, she's a little bit more rounded. She's a little bit more kind of cartoony. Her eyes are rounder, and her teeth aren't as prominent. She's a little bit easier, like more simple. So you'll notice that as you're looking around for crystal skulls, you'll notice that they all have their own looks. And that gives the crystal skull personality. They all have their own personalities. So super cool, especially if you guys never owned one. Once you have your first one, you'll have to have more. So this is a cherry quartz, and I found her off of Etsy. Let's see. Next, I have a Opal Light crystal skull, and he's probably not going to come out on that great on camera because he's so translucent, but Opal Light is a glass stone. It's heated glass, I believe. So it's not really a crystal or anything, but it's, you know, still has those vibes, in my opinion. He's smaller. He is probably half an inch to an inch. Compared to the black obsidian, you could see the difference here. But like I said, they are all different. They are literally all different in the way that they are made. His features are very prominent too, very similar to the black obsidian. I just love him. And I love because towards his jaw, he's more translucent, and then the skull part, like his head part, he's more cloudy white. But you could still kind of see that rainbow effect that the Opal Light gives, which is here at the bottom. Yeah, if you could see that. And yes, I give genders to my crystal skulls. Some of them are female, like my cherry. She's definitely a female. My black obsidian is a male. So you guys will probably notice that. I give genders to my other crystals as well. It's just what I naturally feel when I have them in my hands. Okay, so these next crystal skulls that I'm going to show you, I purchased all of them offline. Actually, all of them have been bought offline. The only one I bought in person, I'll show you that next. This is my prized, my beauty, because my husband bought this one for me for my 30th birthday a couple months ago. This is a crystal, a clear quartz crystal, but he's not very clear. He's more cloudy. And he's my largest crystal that I have. He's, I would say, maybe 3 to 4 inches. He's rather large, as you can see in my palm of my hand. And I found him at a crystal shop. So my husband and I were looking around the crystal shop, and I saw him sitting there, and he was very decently priced. I think he was priced at $45, which compared to all these other crystal shops that I've been to where they have the skulls, these skulls will range from like 80 to 100 something dollars, which I think is kind of ridiculous. But crystal shops, they charge more. They want to, you know, get their profit, I guess. But $45 for for this beauty, I was like, I told my husband, I'm sorry, this is what I want for my birthday. And so he bought it for me there, then and there at the store. Now, this shop also had a smoky quartz crystal skull who was a little bit larger, and he was very translucent, a gorgeous crystal skull, and he was priced at $98. So I kind of figured, okay, that makes sense why you're so much more. But $45 for this one, I thought that was a steal. So, and I think that the reason why he was priced at so much less was because he's not translucent. So I tend to notice that the clear quartz crystal skulls that are translucent, meaning you can see through them, which you can use for scrying and whatnot, they tend to be much more in price. So he's not translucent. He's pretty solid. So I think that's why he wasn't priced. He wasn't priced as much. So he's my baby because he's special. My husband bought it for me. Okay, so the next ones that I'm going to show you guys, I purchased all online. This is my Eunuchite crystal skull, and Eunuchite is really pretty. It's green and pink with pink blotches. And this one I found off of Instagram. I saw one of the girls that I followed, she was posting pictures of her crystal skulls, and I saw this one and it looked so pretty. And the reason why I really love this one was because one side is fairly more green, and then the other side was more pink. And then when you look at him dead on, one eye is red and the other one is pink. I mean, I'm sorry, one eye is red or pink and the other one is green. So it was this eye. I don't know, it just looks, he looks really spooky to me in person. So I really enjoyed him, and I had to have him. Eunuchite wasn't really a crystal that I really connect with. but for some reason this one spoke to me. And he is also very similar to my Obsidian. They're pretty much the same size. So I would say he's about an inch and a half to maybe 2 inches, and that size. And his teeth and everything, he's very nicely carved. And I have noticed there's certain things about these crystal skulls. The sides, sometimes they have the little hole on the side of the jaw, and then sometimes they don't. So everyone is different, and that's what's so special about these guys, is they're all different. They are all different. Okay, the next ones that I'm going to show you are all purchased from China. Now let me tell you a little bit about that. Oh no, I lied. I'm sorry. I have one more I didn't purchase from China. So let me show you that one. So this is my Labrador, or no, not Labradorite, lapis lazuli. And I wanted a bright blue lapis lazuli crystal skull. I saw a photo and I wished I would have purchased it, but he was priced at $50, and I thought that was a bit much. So I didn't get him, and I passed it up, and then I regretted it. This one, he's not as bright. He has more gray, especially into the jawline. But the one thing I really, really loved about him was when you look at the head, you could see the gold flakes in his head. There's just strips of them. And the camera doesn't do it justice, but when you look at him in the sunlight and you just look down at his skull right here and the strips of gold flakes, oh my God, it's beautiful. It shines. So that was what sold me about him. And he's also the same size as my other ones. So about an inch and a half to 2 inches. This one might not even be 2 inches. This might be more like 3 inches, to be honest with you, but I'm not sure. I don't have a ruler with me either to show you guys. I wish I could show you. But yeah, this is my lapis lazuli. He's very pretty, but he has a little bit more gray than I would have wanted. I wanted really like a blue one, so I'm still looking for a blue one. But the gold flakes is what sold me. It's gorgeous. So I wish you guys could see them on camera. The camera does not do him justice, but he's very pretty. Okay, so the next 4 are from China. Now, when I ordered these guys, I ordered them off eBay. And I've always heard to be wary of buying crystals from China because you don't know if you're going to get real ones. You don't know if you're going to get fakes. But for some reason, I was just really called to them. And now that I look at them, I don't think that they're fake, except for one of them. I don't know if it's like a legit name for it. But I love them, and I love all my crystal skulls. So regardless of where they came from and if they're real or fake, because I have the cherry quartz and I have the opal light, which I know are not genuine crystals, but it doesn't matter. Like, what matters is your connection. So I felt really connected to these guys, and they were super, super cheap. I think I paid $50 total for all 4. Which blew me away because I was going to pay $50 for one crystal, that blue one that I just spoke about. I wanted to pay $50 for it, but then I thought twice about it. So to pay $50 for 4 skulls was pretty unbelievable to me. The only downside is when you're buying from China, the shipping takes forever. So I think it took about a solid month for me to receive my babies. So I'm going to show you the largest one first. This is the one that I feel like is a little bit fake, or the name isn't genuine. I think it was Chinese Amazonite or something like that. I don't know if that's a legit thing. I was looking it up, and I saw other crystals with similar markings to it, so maybe. But the thing is it doesn't matter because this one reminded me of a cat. You know those calico cats that have like 3 different colors? That is what this crystal reminded me of. So I really love the coloring of him. He's greens, he has oranges and blacks and browns, and he's a hefty size. I think they said he was like a 4-inch crystal skull, and he's pretty much the same size as this one, my baby. So yeah, about 4 inches, I would say. And he's just really pretty. So the markings on him are just perfect. I love his nose. And he's very heavy. So I was just excited. I was just, you know, I couldn't care less. I could care less if it was what I was getting was genuine or not. Because at this point, it's like, for the price that I paid for all 4 of them, I was like, they're just so pretty. I just want them. I want them for my shelf. So that is the Chinese Amazonite. I don't know if it's a legit crystal or not, but that's what he is. And then I have African Bloodstone. This one reminded me of the Terminator. When the Terminator's eye, when his eye turns red, that is what this guy reminded me of, because he has a red eye. I don't know if the camera, there you go. He has a red eye. He's gray, black, and red. He is beautiful. You can see. I love him. He's so pretty. He pops up in a lot of my client photos. I'm going to be using him a lot for the Halloween fall season. He's amazing. So he's my Terminator skull. So if anyone was wondering, it's African Bloodstone. So I got that one. And I got a white agate. I wanted a pure white crystal skull. He is not translucent whatsoever. You cannot see through him. He is 100% white. And I think he's gorgeous. There's just something about white stones. I love white stones. And a white crystal skull, I don't know. I couldn't say no. So he's really, really pretty. And same size as the bloodstone. So about an inch to inch and a half to 2 inches. And then another one the same size. This one, I think this one was the lemon agate or something like that. I don't know. It's probably some silly name, but it's a greenish, like a greenish yellow color. He's not translucent either. He's a solid. And I love his face. They just like have this like smiley grin on them. So he's a pretty nice size too, typical to my Obsidian, same size. So those are my crystal skulls. Again, you guys, if you guys are in the market for, you know, looking for a crystal skull, I love eBay. eBay, you can find stuff for really cheap. If you want to wait for the shipping, if you don't mind waiting for shipping, you know, I ordered from China. I ordered from China. Some people would say, no, you don't buy your crystals from there. I did, and I'm satisfied. I love what I got. So they have on eBay, there's a couple China sellers from China who offer a lot of crystal skulls. So check them out. I also order my crystal skulls off Etsy too. So Etsy has a bunch of crystal skulls. You just, you know, search them, and you can look for hours. And there's all sorts of them. But yeah, or check out your local crystal shop. But I guarantee you, if you go to a local crystal shop, the prices are going to be much higher than you would find online, unless you get lucky like I did. And find a decent size skull for a decent price. Like I said, these 2-inch crystal skulls, I pay no more. I would never pay no more than $40. $50 to me and up is a bit much. I believe that this black obsidian, I believe I paid $26 for him. My Eunuch, I think he was the one I paid the most for. I think he was $30. Same with the lapis lazuli, he was about $25. And then my cherry, she was $25. And my Opal Light was $13. I remember this one was only $13 and I was super excited. And then, like I said, this guy, he was $45. And my China ones, all 4 of these guys came with a total of $50. So, and that's including shipping, by the way. So, and I believe shipping from China, I think it was like $10. So you figure $40 for 4 crystals, or like $10 a piece or whatever. It's not bad. So be prepared when you buy crystal skulls. You're going to pay, unless you get lucky, or you find a good seller, or they have a coupon code. But technically, like, if you want a nice 2-inch skull, which I think is probably the decent, it's probably my favorite size, because if once you go bigger, you're going to have to pay more. So 2 inches is probably a really good size, I would say. You're going to probably pay anywhere between $15 to $40. Just depends on what kind of stone you're getting and how big and how nice the carving is, because like I said, some of them, the carving, this one's more, realistic looking, I would say, and this is more simple. But he's still cute. So it just depends. It's just like what your guys' preference are. So if you have any questions about crystal skulls, or any questions about the skulls that I showed you guys, leave a comment below and I would be happy to answer for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.